Eric St. Laurent was born and raised in Montreal, studied in New York City, and lived and worked in Berlin, landing in Toronto a few years ago. And Eric has been a welcome and unique fixture to our scene here. I don't think there's a guitar player around like him. World influences with strong threads of blues and jazz. His new recording, Planet, showcases all of his strengths. So from right here in our Arthur Dolphin studios, with one mic, one chair, say hello to Eric St. Laurent. Come on. Yes.
Thank you.
Eric St. Laurent, that is absolutely delightful. I would just want to be your pal so we could hang out sometime and you'd just be able to pull out your guitar and do that when we're hanging out together.
Yes.
So that is a Cole Porter tune, correct? Am I right on that?
No, it's 2016 has been a terrible year for musicians. We've lost a lot of people. And 2 weeks ago, we lost Rob Temperton, of course, who wrote that song "Rock with You," and he wrote a bunch of other songs also that I play all the time.
Wow.
And
British guy, right?
British guy, pretty much defined the sound of Michael Jackson. And he wrote "Give Me the Night" for George Benson and a million other tunes that are very jazzy. They have these jazz harmonies about this modalness to it. And so this is why I've always been attracted to all his stuff. And just 66 years old. Anyway,
well, that was really
tribute to him.
Really special. Really
Thank you.
Sounded great.
Thank you,
Eric. I think about your guitar playing. To me, it doesn't sound like anyone else, and that is in the best sense. I hear. Lionel Louecki in some ways. I don't know why that name comes to mind sometimes when I hear you play. Would you go, what are you talking about?
No, it's a huge compliment. Thank you. I don't deserve.
There's a rhythmic element to it that I think is more prominent maybe than other musicians, and certainly showcased there. But even that was something that I hadn't really heard you explore before too. So
it's a cool. I mean, he's a international superstar. So thank you for saying that. But we're the same age, so. People who play guitar and who grew up around that time heard a lot of John McLaughlin, a lot of Pat Metheny, John Scofield, Bill Frisell, and Wayne Krantz, maybe, in New York. I studied with Wayne Krantz, and he's got a strong rhythm element to his playing. So it's no wonder that it kind of sounds the same, or it reminds you a little bit of it.
Yeah, because it's rhythmic, but it also sounds percussive too. Especially on the new record Planet, it almost sounds like you're playing sort of a conga within the melody and how you're approaching the tune.
That's very perceptive. Thank you for noticing that. I've always been hugely influenced by drummers. I listened to hundreds of hours of Roy Haynes, Elvin Jones, Joe Jones, and rock drummers like Stuart Copeland, also Neil Peart. I would air drum and play on my friends' kits also, by the way, I still do. So yeah, there's a lot of that in my playing.
Would you be able to do a gig as a drummer?
You know what? I've done a few.
Yes.
Sort of incognito, though. And this was before YouTube, so there's no evidence, which I'm very thankful for.
And by incognito, you would wear some type of costume or disguise as you were sitting behind?
I just wouldn't talk to anyone. That's it.
The new record is sensational. Congratulations.
Thank you.
Where is there opportunities for people to come see you play over the next little while that you can share with us?
Well, with my band right now, we're taking a little break. We had a big show at Hughes Room a couple of weeks ago, and I want to give Toronto audiences a break. So, but I'm doing all kinds of other things that I can talk about. November 3rd, next week, I'm at Lula Lounge with this new Tiki band, which is going to be a riot. It's music from the South Pacific, but interpreted by Americans.
Cool.
It's an old tradition. November 5th, I play blues with my friend Carlos Del Junco at Hughes Room. We're there 2 or 3 times a year. It's a classic. November 6th, I'm Morgan's on the Danforth with Henry Heilich and duo at 2 p.m.
My neighborhood out there on the Danforth.
Yeah, it's lovely. Morgan's is a great place to have jazz now.
Well, before we go out on a tune from the new record, I can't thank you enough for taking some time on this day to come down and perform for us and share that incredible gift that you have. I wanted to ask you about this tune. It's called What Would Steve Gadd Do? I think a lot of us think of that all the time, because if you're looking for a great drum pattern, what would Steve Gadd do? But what was the reason that you called this song this?
My fascination for Steve Gadd started when I was on tour with Swiss drummer, he's considered a New York drummer now, Jojo Meyer, who's an insane virtuoso. And over the 3-week tour, we would stay up all night, and he basically talked about Steve Gadd until 5 o'clock in the morning at the hotel bar every night. And so nowadays, when I come back home after a gig and I want some comfort, I often watch Steve Gadd master classes, because it's the best of taste. It's his decision what to do, what not to do. He can do anything, right? But what he chooses to do and to play is just like a music lesson. Every minute of it.
It's about taking stuff away, almost.
Yes.
Getting it down to the most tasty nugget.
Yes.
Right.
I'm going to tell a very short story.
Please.
Drummers often meet for these drum festivals, and it's very tribal, and everyone's very macho, and they play millions of notes, and it always ends with Steve Gadd, and he comes on stage and he has people clap on 2 and 4 for about 10 minutes before he does anything on the drums. And it just builds the excitement and builds, and that's a true master. So if I can get a little bit of that in my music, I'll be happy.
Can I see that one where he gets the audience going? Is that out there on the
Yes.
YouTube or something? Yes?
Yes.
I want to see that.
Yes.
Eric, again, a pleasure to see you, and you've got a pretty robust website too, so look for more information on Eric at his website as well. What would Steve Gadd do here on Jazz FM 91?